Ladies and gents, welcome back. I'm doing another video today because I got home from work. I didn't even have a chance to clean up and I saw this clip and I just had to put this video together. It is getting embarrassing in Canada to look at the political scene and the media and how they're responding to it. Now, Petrified COVID Parent put out there a poll a little while ago saying, now that the Liberal government's poll numbers are plummeting, what term should they use to try to vilify the opposition? And just by a C hair, winning with 37% was the far right. You know, the big bad guys that we keep hearing about all the time. These incredible animals that exist out in the wild that nobody ever comes across. Kind of the Sam Squanch of Canada, the far right, these crazies that everybody's trying to appeal to that the media doesn't agree with. Well, this was the question from a reporter today, and it was just unbelievable, and I have to show this clip because where are we today, and how did we get so embarrassing?
Hello, Mr. Poilievre. A number of your own comments and actions have been characterized as dog whistling to the far right.
By who?
By a number of different, but I think it's been characterized by that way. But are you trying to court? Are you trying to court the far right?
Sorry, I just need to clarify. By who?
By a number of different experts and a number of different people who work in this. Okay, well, I think it's been established that this is a concern. Are you trying to court the far right vote?
Who are these experts? You say that there are experts who are saying this. Who are they?
My question is, are you trying to court the far right vote?
I'm sorry. Your question seems to be based on a false premise. You can't even tell me who these experts are. It sounds like it's just a CBC smear job. Thank you.
But what about the question about whether that's
the answer is that I'm...
So I'm going to interrupt this right away. So it won't let it go because this is the question. It's the presupposition that you're associating with the far right. You know those villains that we don't really clearly define, we don't have any clear definition of, and these experts who we can't speak of and who we have no name for. But let's presuppose that. And why are you dog whistling at these people that we are ill-defined and are just villainous and for no reason? And well, he's not dodging the question. What he's doing here is he's saying, I don't like the premise of the question. Can you rephrase it? Can you tell me if that's the presupposition, you need to come forward with a little bit of evidence for what you're suggesting here. If not, move on, get to another question, because he obviously doesn't think that he's dog whistling with the far right, these people who may or may not exist. Some people out there claim to be far right. I think some of them online are just saying it as just almost ironically, oh yeah, I'm far right, okay, I guess that's the case. But some people are doing that, and that's true. But here it does seem like a smear job with this presupposition. Let's watch the rest of the clip.
I have a common sense agenda to axe the carbon tax, bring home powerful paychecks, clear the way to build affordable homes, to put people in housing that they can afford. That is a common sense, mainstream Canadian agenda. And I know that Justin Trudeau's supporters are so desperate to distract from that because his political career is falling apart. So we're seeing an attempt here to distract and protect Justin Trudeau from his extremely unpopular carbon taxes and other failing policies. But we won't let him or his or others distract from that reality. So thank you.
So you're not going to answer that question?
So you're not going to answer the question. Ends off with that. Unbelievable showing. Now, like, what is the far right? What are these suggestions actually entailing? Now, I'll leave a link in the description. You can watch the whole interview there. There's the whole speech that he put on CPAC. I'll leave a link in the description down below. You can check that out. But here's the thing. The ethically bargain basement journalist Teresa Wright, who cast aspirations on Pierre Poilievre, attempting to smear and associate him with the undefined far right, revealed to have been fired with Rachel Gilmore. Okay, that's interesting. So this is Teresa Wright, obviously the reporter in this case, who was pushing to have this question answered. for guys like me, I'm in the trades. We get used to these kinds of questions. These are the stump questions that we pull on each other. Like, as a gay man, what do you think about your boyfriend or whatever? And most people are like, hey, wait, you have to defend that you're not gay first or whatever the fact it is. And I'm not saying that gay people are bad. It's just a thing that dudes do in the shop. It's funny, but it's what people do to try to stump each other. And this is what the journalist is doing, using these type of tactics. She wrote on Twitter saying, I tried to ask Pierre Poilievre whether he's trying to court the far right vote. She didn't ask that. She presupposed that there are experts saying that that's the case when she couldn't provide any experts when she was called out on that. He would not answer my question, saying my question sounded like a CBC smear job and distracted from the real issues. And I believe that is actually accurate in this case. Whether you like Pierre Poilievre or not, this is really just it's ridiculous how embarrassing this stuff gets, but it really calls into question the political spectrum. Now, this is a real version of the political spectrum for those that don't want to be confused with the convoluted political spectrum anagraphs or whatever you get, where you can find out where you're situated and it tells you really nothing. It really does come down to this. It's center and then left and right. From left going all the way, way far left, that's totalitarian enslavement. That is rule by government. This is the complete rule over you in every single aspect of your life. And as you move all the way to the right, on the very other end of the spectrum, you have anarchy. And what does anarchy mean? What are the words for that? It's Latin. It's a, meaning the absence of, and archy, the absence of rulers. That's right. So totalitarian would be on one side of the spectrum where you have nothing but rulers in whatever form that is, or anarchy on the other end. And everybody kind of sits somewhere in the middle somewhere. Now you have your communism, which is very close to totalitarianism, if not totalitarian is itself. Socialism, which is the road there. And then you have fascism. I don't know why it's considered a little bit right of that. I don't agree with that necessarily. I think there's more control in that system than there is in socialism, but they very much are they're very close to each other on economic policies, on social policies. They're all on the left. Now you go around to the right and you'll see libertarian capitalism. You'll see, liberty-oriented people, classical liberals. This is the whole thing. People who are more concerned with their personal freedoms, their economic freedoms, that kind of thing is on the right. Now, there's this new mental gymnastics of a political spectrum that presupposes that things are jumbled all over the place and there's no real clear definition of that based on any sort of linear scale. And this is where you get things like this that try to confuse people, where being a centrist is conservatism or liberalism, American politics here. But you go all the way to the left, you have socialism, then communism, and then it somehow turns into anarchy. You go from complete rules and rulers all the way to, we no longer have rulers. It's free for all, and there's no rules, no laws, no nothing. And then you go all the way to the right. The right is giving you what more? There is no more freedom. It's not more freedom as you move to the right, even though people who typically situate themselves right politically advocate for more freedom, more economic freedom, not always more social freedom. That was a movement, and this is where you have other axes in the political spectrum. But somehow there's this horseshoe where somehow you end up at the bad guys when you go to the right in that direction in that political spectrum. But this is more of a realistic one where you can judge based on how much freedom people are willing to take. And now there is the adage that, if you trade freedom for security, you'll end up with neither, and it falls on this spectrum here. But if you have nothing but freedom, you have nothing but responsibility to take care of yourself. And if you go all the way to our anarchy, well, you're gonna have to take care of every single aspect, including your security, even the security of your neighborhood and what have you. This is why people don't tend to go all the way to anarchy, but pull back a little bit. Even the founding fathers of the United States are famously minarchists. They were just to the left of anarchy, and that's where that was. Now, a lot of people are living with this meme of being called far right. Some people even getting online and saying, far right, be the extremist the media says you are. What is a far right person? That's a real question here in this whole thing is, what is a far right person? Is it someone with family values? Is it someone who just, wants to live in a nice neighborhood, wants to have neighbors that say, how do you do? Is this far right? Or are they trying to insinuate something a little bit more insidious, like ethno states and things like that? That's what's been defined as the alt-right, as we could get into definitions of other political movements. But the alt-right, if you look into their movements with Richard Spencer and people like that, you'll find that they're actually quite on the left. They actually hold a lot of principles dear to them that are left-leaning, like state control, the identity politics, and all of that stuff. All the stuff that people typically on the right or, center-right have, said they don't really care much for. This is where we're at with this. But hey, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you far right, or are you just kind of right of center? I know there's the meme that Elon Musk put out there a while ago showing the people on the left running so far left and then turning around and pointing at everybody else that's just normal or is in the center as being far right. Is that the case? Is that what we're seeing here? But it's really embarrassing, in my opinion, to look at the way our news has been progressing. And these are the questions that are being asked to the candidate that is going to be running for Prime Minister of Canada in the next election. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one tomorrow morning. Keep on trucking.